The woman didn't notice the steel needle sticking out of the bike seat. In a hurry to get to the competition, she sat down without thinking, only to cry out in pain moments later. With no money and no alternative transportation, and the needle impossible to pull out, she had no choice but to stand on the pedals and ride furiously. After much struggle, she finally made it to the competition venue, but the assistant immediately mistook her for the CEO's wife. Little did anyone know, the confusion arose because the woman and the CEO's wife looked exactly alike. Just a few days earlier, the CEO's wife had discovered in a hospital that the woman bore a striking resemblance to her. Seeing that the woman was struggling to pay for her mother's surgery, she came up with a bold plan. She offered the woman $5 million to act as her double. Although the woman found the proposal absurd, she reluctantly agreed to the outrageous request. Desperate to cover her mother's medical expenses, the CEO's wife then gave the woman a full-body makeover. When she saw the transformed woman, the CEO's wife smiled with satisfaction. Years ago, to get close to the CEO, she had stolen a pair of twins from a hospital, claiming they were the CEO's children. She thought marrying the CEO would make her life perfect, but after the wedding, the CEO refused to even touch her. For 5 years, she lived in frustration, secretly keeping numerous lovers. Now, wanting to travel abroad with her true love, she decided to let the woman impersonate her for a month. She warned the woman not to harbor any ambitions of getting close to the CEO. Before she could finish her lecture, the CEO unexpectedly returned home. Panicking, the wealthy wife quickly escaped with her lover through a secret passage, leaving the woman to face the CEO's anger alone. The CEO immediately ordered his bodyguards to search the house. Moments later, the assistant discovered 2 scantily clad men hiding in a room. The absurd scene left the woman utterly speechless. No matter how much she tried to explain, the CEO was adamant about divorcing her. Unbeknownst to the woman, the CEO's wife had deliberately left her a cheating scandal to deal with. The woman broke into tears, claiming the men were her cousins, but her poor acting failed to convince the CEO. He froze all of the CEO's wife's credit cards and walked away without mercy. Meanwhile, the CEO's wife, having learned of the situation, called to threaten the woman. She demanded the woman find a way to unfreeze the cards, or she wouldn't pay for her mother's medical expenses. At the same time, the CEO was already on his way to the woman's workplace. His twin daughter was suffering from severe anorexia. To help his daughter recover, the CEO had organized a chef competition. The woman happened to be one of the participating chefs. When she finally arrived at the venue, she was shocked to see the CEO there. To avoid exposing her identity, she changed into work attire and borrowed a mask from a nearby boy. But the boy, upon seeing her face, was momentarily stunned, nearly mistaking her for the CEO's wife. The assistant also recognized her at first glance, but then dismissed the thought, believing the CEO's wife would never dress so plainly. Unlike her usual obsession with luxury brands, the CEO, however, became curious about the woman. Watching her win first place with her extraordinary cooking skills, even his anorexic daughter was drawn to the food she prepared. Impressed, the CEO ordered his assistant to bring the woman to him at any cost. At that moment, the boy walked up to the woman, pretending she had dropped something. As she bent down to pick it up, he quickly pulled off her mask. Just then, the CEO approached.